Alright, I'm gonna do this out of order in a way that I think makes sense. So this generation is called 4-way out gen. It's really easy to figure out. There's 4 ways out from the third room. There's really no way to tell which is the right direction, but usually it's one of the middle exits from the way that you entered. And even if you do go pick a wrong direction, you're gonna find either a chest or a shop. But ultimately, if you want to go the best way towards the boss, you just have to pick one and hope for the best. This one is similar to the previous generation, but this time it's 3 ways out from the third room. This one is known as the dead end chest generation because one exit leads to a dead end, which can be seen right here. Typically, you should take the longest exit because you're trying to leave this loop. Then you enter another chest loop right over here. If it's hard to tell which room leads to the boss, take the longer exit because again, you're trying to leave a loop. This is the second floor's faded gen, and like all faded gens, the second room has 3 ways out from the second room, with no real way of knowing which is the correct direction. But once you do find the right way, you'll enter a shop loop. Avoid going towards the shop loop and try to exit it, and then you'll find a room with 2 ways out. If you pick the wrong way here, pick up the chest in the next room. Otherwise, you'll find the boss room, and that'll be it for this generation. This is early shop gen. This is the whole reason why you should always check the corridor exit at the start if you have multiple ways of leaving from the starting room. You go through the shop, avoid the loop in the next room, and you'll find a room with 3 exits. You should typically always pick the longer exit so you can find this loop right here. You'll know you're going on the right path if you see 2 exits in the next room. From there, it honestly doesn't matter which way you pick. Just leave the loop as soon as you can in order to get to the boss room. This is the big loop generation of the second floor. It has 2 ways out from the start. You don't go the direction of the Corridor King, and you can exit the loop here to find a chest. If you do find a chest, this should be a signal that you're in the big loop generation. So go back and keep going until you find the shop. You can visit the shop here, and then don't go back towards the loop. Avoid the loop in order to find another fighting room before fighting the boss fight. This is the shop block chest gen. This is really easy to tell because the first fate room you encounter has the shop and a block chest. Go through the shop and you'll eventually find a room with 2 exits. You should take the shorter exit to avoid this loop, again because loops tend to have longer exits. And then you'll find a couple of fighting rooms before reaching the boss fight, and that's basically it for this generation. This is shop 1 generation. It has 2 exits from the starting room. Again, you don't go towards the Corridor King if it's not the shop. And then eventually you'll find the room that's connected to the shop. You go through the shop, and the very next room will only have 1 exit, thus making it shop 1. You go through that room and you see that there's going to be a block chest. You try to take the longer exit so you can exit this loop, in case it's not easy to tell which is the right direction. You go through another fighting room, and then you enter the boss fight. And finally, this is shop 2. It's very similar to shop 1, in which that there's 2 ways out from the start, one of which is the Corridor King. Don't go that direction since it's not the shop. Keep going, go outside the loop, and eventually you'll find the shop. Go through the shop, and you're going to see that the very next room has 2 ways out, thus making it shop 2. The next room that you want to see has to have 2 ways out. If you see only 1 way out, go back to the previous room and go the other way. Here it's really important that you go both directions for this generation, because that's basically a free chest, and then the other exit's going to lead to the boss. Alright, again, I'm doing this part live, so if I stutter on my words, I apologize. That's just the type of person I am. And I am using mod the Gungeon to help me load the levels, as well as give me the BSG so I can actually do this more quickly. So at the start here, I can already see there's 2 ways out. I want to pick the shorter one and see what the Corridor King is. Oh, I also have health bars mod, which I forgot to uninstall, but whatever. So I see this also doesn't lead to the shop, so we go the other way. And we'll see what kind of generation this is. I see there's 2 ways out, so this 2 ways out without even seeing a shop. So right now I'm thinking this might be big loop. And again, I don't see the shop again, so there's a good chance this is the big loop generation. As it is, which I find a chest right there. So in a couple more rooms, I should be able to find the find the shop. As you can see it right there. So right now I'm thinking just like check the shop. I don't even have to go here, this is probably the crest. See where it connects to the loop, which it looks to be over there. And we find the boss room. And we reload the level. It's the only one way out. No need to make decisions here. Three. And this looks to be the block chest. Shop block chest. Go through the shop. Ow. Again, I see two ways out. One of them does lead to a loop. Or, yeah, that one probably leads to a loop. So I take the shorter exit. As that is not the case. Or excuse me, as it is the case. That this would be a loop right here. Going a couple more fighter rooms before beating the boss fight. Two ways out again, it's kind of hard to tell which one's the corridor king, so I'm just gonna pick one direction. Towards the end there, I actually heard that there was a chainsaw there. And that basically confirmed that that was the correct direction. And here I find the boss room, or not the boss room, the shop. Go through the shop, and I can figure out that this next room has one way out. And so basically this means it's just shop 1. I'll find a chop block chest loop here. And so avoid the chest loop, go down, and find another fighting room. And here it is again. A lot of the second floor mapping really revolves around finding the shop. And finding where the location of that is in order to figure out what generation you have. Two, three, four. So this is the 4 ways out gen, more than likely. I just have to check all the exits here, just to confirm. Right, so none of them are a shrine or a shop or anything. I just pick a random direction. And there's not really much I can do about the situation in regards to figuring out which way is the correct path. And so this one led to a chest. Let's keep going and figure out a different direction. This is usually a telltale sign that you're going the right way towards the boss fight. Also known as the set piece. There have been times I've seen where that's not the case. For that particular room. And here we find the boss fight. Again, one way out. Second way out. And so you see there's 3 ways out from third room. I'm going to take one of the longer exits. And it does look to be correct so far. Take the lower exit, avoided this chest loop right there. And that was another easy pass to the boss fight. 2 ways out. Check the shorter exit first, see that this doesn't lead to the shop, go the other way. Two ways out again. One of them, this is really long, so this is already telling me that this is leads outside the loop, which I guess doesn't really tell me anything. Yeah. I'm not too sure exactly where I was going with that statement, but basically I found the shop again. Go through the shop. See, 2 ways out. So basically what that means is that this is shop 2. And I have to make a decision here of which direction I think will lead to 2 exits. And this one does. Unfortunately, this is a very annoying trap room that I have to go through. Right, and for this generation, you always pick both exits. Go with this one here to find the boss fight. Go the other exit to find a chest. If I went the other way, I would have just went back and picked the other exit. Right there, it's basically just a 50-50 as to which direction is the correct one. Again, check the shorter exit, see it doesn't lead to the shop. And then go the other way. 2 birds. Oh, I need the ammo, hold up. And again, finding the shop. Going through the shop. I was trying to reload the BSG, didn't work out there, I don't know why. But yeah, basically, that was shop 1. Now you can tell because there's 1 exit from the shop. Once I left the shop. So I went away from the chest loop and I found the boss room once again. Again, 2 ways out. Check the bottom or the shorter exit to see if there's leads to the shop. It didn't. Go the opposite direction. 2 ways. Go outside the loop first. See it leads to the shop. We're gonna go through the shop. Find there's 2 ways out. And basically just make a decision as to which one has 2 ways out. Again. As again, this one has 2. Go this way so I can find the shop room or the boss room, and go this way to find the chest. I believe we're still missing the faded gen early chest or early shop, excuse me. And this is the early shop actually. So yeah, basically just find the shop right here. Take this as I can. And avoid the loop. And again, so I figure out this situation, I want to pick one of the longer ones, not one of the shorter ones. I'm just gonna pick this longer exit. See 2 ways out, which is good. That is what I wanted to see. And from here, it doesn't even matter which way I go. It's gonna be basically the same amount of rooms towards the boss fight. Plus or minus one corridor king, potentially. Avoid the loop again, and we made it to the boss fight. Again, 2 ways out. Again, there's another early shop. We can just do this one more time. Okay, I don't know what's happening. There we go. Again, this is a 3-3, or yeah, it leads me to a 3-3, and I just need to pick a longer exit. This is the only long exit I see so far, so I'm gonna go towards it. And so here you can see that there was 2 exits again. So basically I knew that the longer exit would lead towards a loop. And that's the reason why I always pick the longer one for this situation. And from here, again, doesn't matter which way I go. I'm gonna avoid going back towards the loop. We head outside, finding with the boss room. The 2 ways out. Check this room. There's actually enemies in it. But it does not lead to the shop, so we go the other way. Get hurt by some traps. And then go outside the loop. See what's going on. You can see the shop again. I'm gonna go find the go towards the shop. Go through the shop. See 2 ways out, just pick one direction. I see there's only 1 way out from this one, so this is not the way I wanted to go. So I head backwards. Go back to the room I was just in. And go down to figure out the boss room, and go to the side to find the chest room. One way out. Hopefully this will be the faded gen, and then this could, I guess, would be my last one. It is not the. Oh, this is faded gen. Yeah, so this is basically just pick a random direction and go. Actually, looks like I went the right direction this time. Just out of sheer luck. As I did. And again, picking the longer one here. Picking one direction, yep. So if I picked the other direction, that would have just led me to another fighting room and then the chest. I just picked a random one here. That's really what you do with faded gens. You could basically have to go through 2 decisions at least, whenever you have them. So 1 way out. Again, another only 1 way out. We're gonna change to the 3rd room. And it looks to be, we see a blocked chest, we see the shop. So you already know what this which generation this is. Go through the shop. Make your BSG land against the wall. So you saw 1 way out, then 2 ways out. Yeah, that had to be the case, because I was thinking of a different generation. Let's just pick one. It was really hard to see which one was longer, so I just picked a random one here. I could tell that was the wrong way because that leads to a chest loop. And we go find one more fighting room after the trap room, and we're at the boss again. And we can do one more example. So again, we see 2 ways out. Go check the quarter first. Oh, we got the early shot generation. Avoid going back towards the loop, go out. I'll pick a longer exit. I see one really long one, and that's the one I'm going for. See 2 ways out, which means it's the right way. And from here, it doesn't matter which exit I choose. And we find the boss fight. Oh, I guess I could do one more. But yeah, other than that, I hope that this is at least somewhat helpful to you guys and figure out the mapping of the second floor. I know this one has a lot of generations, so it could be a little bit more difficult, but really it's just finding the shop, using that as the main way of figuring out which way you really want to go. Go outside the loop. Don't see the shop here. This means it's big loop generation. Yep, as we confirm that. And so we just go head towards this way. And in one more room we'll find the boss room. Or not the boss room, the shop room. Go towards the shop just to check out what's there. Nothing interesting. We avoid the loop here, and we go outwards. And we're at the boss fight again. Yeah, that's it. Hope you guys enjoyed, and thanks for watching.